It is Monday, October 21st, and today I'm just wondering about two things: the changing face of the Dallas Mavericks and the changing faces in college football.
Introducing Star Power Smart Home Solutions, where cutting-edge technology meets effortless living. Control your entire home with just a tap on your smartphone. Adjust the lights, set the temperature, ensure your home is totally secure, all from the palm of your hand. Experience the ultimate solution in comfort and security for your family. Start by going to the website, GetStarPower.com. That's GetStarPower.com.
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Are all financial advisors fiduciaries? Fewer than you think. Not knowing could reduce your lifestyle. Hi, I'm Mitch Kramer, founder and CEO of Fluent Financial. A fiduciary is a regulatory term to reduce conflicts of interest in wealth management. A fiduciary always works in your best interest. A non-fiduciary advisor might put their compensation or company ahead of yours. At Fluent Financial, we are certified financial planners acting as fiduciary advisors. To learn more, go to fluentfinancial.com or Fluent Financial's YouTube channel.
What an incredible NBA season the Dallas Mavericks had last year. They made significant changes in the middle of the season, and then out of nowhere made a run all the way to the NBA Finals. It was magic before the Boston Celtics stepped all over the Mavs' magic. But, hey, that was a great season. So, what about this season? It is a sign of just how powerful the NBA West is that the Mavericks, in preseason predictions, seem to rank about 5th in the NBA West. Wow. Now, the Mavs start Thursday against the San Antonio Spurs. And last year, those changes in the middle of the season worked, and now more changes in the offseason. Kind of odd for a really good basketball team to be making this kind of change over, but you know what? That's good. That's the aggressive general manager Nico Harrison doing this. The Mavs made a couple of the offseason changes simply because players left. Derek Jones, who gave the Mavs a fine year at small forward, left for the Clippers. And Josh Green's gone. And so is Tim Hardaway, who had a miserable year last year. The biggest new face is that of Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson has for 13 years in the NBA been a sharpshooter. Now, he can shoot, but he also has a lot of trouble playing defense. Remember that. We'll circle back to that in a minute. Klay Thompson's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's also going to be 34 this season. And the Mavericks gave him 3 years for $50 million total. Klay Thompson is coming off the second worst three-point shooting year of his career and the second worst overall field goal percentage of his NBA career. Those are not numbers you want from a player that you've acquired to be a sharpshooter. The Mavericks love the three, and the thought is that with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, there'll be plenty of times that Thompson will be open on the wing just waiting to fire one up. Now, the Mavericks seem, I say seem because we're not yet certain, but they seem intent on starting Klay Thompson at small forward. That might be a little dicey defensively. I'm not sure the Mavs and Coach Kidd want to do that. I think they might want to have Klay Thompson on the bench to start the game and have Najee Marshall, we'll get to him in a minute, at small forward. That would, number one, reduce the minutes Klay Thompson plays in a game, and at 34 years old, you got to keep an eye on things like that. It would also reduce the minutes that he's matched up defensively with starting players on the other team. Now, let's go to Marshall. He replaces Derek Jones. Is he as good defensively as Derek Jones? Nah, not quite. Is he a better three-point shooter than Derek Jones? Yes, he is. And those two things, the Mavs believe, balance out the departure of Jones and the addition of Marshall. And then there's two others the Mavericks have added. Quentin Grimes, a solid bench guard from the Knicks, and old friend Spencer Dinwiddie's back again. The Mavericks had him, traded him away, his contract was bought out, he went to the Lakers. But for the Mavs, he represents really solid veteran depth. And then you add the kids. You know, Derek Lively, the center, is going to be better in his second NFL season. And Jaden Hardy continues to make progress. And there's good news on the health front. Maxi Kleber is healthy and should be ready to start the season as a valuable bench player. I don't know if this is the second best team in the West or fourth place team in the West, but if this Maverick team is the fifth best team in the West is loaded with power. Next up, college football and some big names who've lost their power.
For more than 3 decades, Bob's Steak and Chop House has remained an icon of DFW restaurants. Why? Well, maybe it's because of Bob. He's fanatical about cleanliness and friendliness, and his food, oh my Lord, his food. If you've been there, you know about it. If you haven't been there, you should know about it. The original Bob welcomes you at either of his 2 locations, Bob's on Lemon Avenue or the sparkling new Bob's at Craig Ranch, McKinney. Crest is again proud to sponsor the McKinney Police Association Golf Tournament and Car Raffle, October 24th at TPC Craig Ranch in McKinney. Sign up and purchase a raffle ticket for the opportunity to win a brand new Crest Cadillac CT4. It's easy. You go to CrestCares.com. You don't even have to live in McKinney to win. Grab yourself a raffle ticket, sign up at CrestCares.com, perhaps win that new vehicle, and do support the McKinney Police Association.
In college football, we're approaching the stretch run. But there's an incredible number of teams whose names we've gotten used to being at the very top of this heap, missing from the list of contenders. Now, this is a 12-team college football playoff instead of a 4-team. So theoretically, not even theoretically, really, it's going to be easier to make the final 12. 4 at 4, some good teams were left out of the playoffs. But this year, Washington's not going to be in those playoffs. They lost the championship last year to Michigan. But Washington already has 3 losses and games with Indiana, Penn State, and Oregon still left on their schedule. Goodbye, Huskies. Next, Oklahoma. It's been a long while since we've seen an Oklahoma team as awful as this one. They've lost 3 of their last 4, and they have left on their schedule Ole Miss, Missouri, Alabama, and LSU. Forget the national championship playoff. Oklahoma might not qualify for a bowl. Unbelievable. Next, Michigan, the national champion. out of the playoffs. Forget Michigan. They've already lost 3 times, and they have games ahead with Oregon, Indiana, and Ohio State. Could Michigan be a 6-6 football team the year after winning the national championship? Yes, they just might be. And then there's USC. This will be easy to say. They're already 1-4 in the Big Ten. And Alabama? They already have 2 losses to Vandy and to Tennessee. Alabama's just going to have to win out to make it into the college football playoffs. And there's so many new or fairly new names on the list of national contenders. Unbeatens include Miami of Florida, Indiana. Indiana? Yes, Indiana. Army and Navy? Yes, each still unbeaten. Iowa State, BYU, Pittsburgh, all of them unbeaten, and all of them, those 7, members of the top 25 in college football. We also got to look yesterday at Texas. Texas entered the game against Georgia as a favorite in college football to win the championship. Texas was unbeaten, and it looked like they played a good schedule. But in reality, their 2, I would say significant, but not even really good wins at all, were over Michigan and OU. And we know about those teams now, don't we? They played Georgia, and they got their nose rubbed in it, as my mom used to say. Georgia led them 23-0 at the half. Georgia beat them 30-15 in Austin as a 4.5-point underdog. I don't know what's going to happen in college football. Maybe all these Cinderellas will lose their glass slippers. But in the playoffs, the 12 teams, no OU, no Washington, no Michigan, no USC, maybe no Alabama. Gracious, what an exciting stretch run we've got. Except if you're cheering for those former powers.
Today's episode brought to you by Fluent Financial. Retire sooner, better lifestyle. And by Crest Cars. There's good, there's better, and then there's Crest. By Star Power. Love where you live. And by Bob's Steak and Chop House.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Just Wondering with Norm Hitzges. If you enjoyed what you heard, please hit follow, and a fresh new episode will be delivered to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you know someone who might enjoy our work, please share it with them. I'm Norm Hitzges, and I'm always just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitchkus, and I'm just wondering too.